What's up, guys? Jar here back with another video. Basically, in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to 10x your sales for your clothing brand this Q4. And yeah, let's get right to it. So this is my brand, Angelic Motion. This is me, and this was one of our Black Fridays. You feel what I'm saying? We did 50K in a day, as you can see, with around 27% net margin. This is actually my mentor, Samuel Nuha. He's big in the space. He has a YouTube channel. He has his own program, whatever. But yeah, he helped me give the tools and strategies that basically I'm going to teach you guys today. And yeah, pretty much works. The results prove it for yourself. And let's get straight to it. So first things first is that you need to have a clear marketing calendar. So in order to maximize, this Q4, it's important that you have a clear marketing plan and actually know what exact dates you have in mind for all your marketing activations. So at the end of the day, failure to plan is planning to fail. You know what I'm saying? So really, for this Q4 season, it's really important that you really have all of your marketing activations planned and scheduled out. So for me personally, right, I'm launching a new product drop on the 21st of this month, right? And then I am actually launching my Black Friday sale on the 27th. This is early access, right? So I'm gonna close down my site and only have it open to, people who have the passcode essentially. So it gives them more exclusivity and FOMO if you're missing out and scarcity. You know what I mean? The day before Black Friday, and then actually on Black Friday day, right? We're gonna open the site to everyone, and we're gonna officially launch our Black Friday sale, right? And then pretty much you have all the way up until Monday, right? This is gonna be Cyber Monday, right? So this Black Friday sale is gonna carry, all the way 29th to 30th, and then you can run your Cyber Monday sale right here, and then essentially on your Cyber Monday sale, right? I like to just give a lesser discount than Black Friday, right? Because you want to be true to, your biggest discounts of the year, right? You don't want to burn up your audience pool and lose your audience's trust for future sales activations, right? But I like to give like up to 30% off still, right? For Cyber Monday, and then I'll usually end it on Tuesday, right? And then actually on this Friday, you can launch another product drop, which I plan on doing. So I have another product drop here. And then essentially you can run your Christmas sale, right? All the way up until the shipping cutoff, which will be the 15th or the 16th, right? And then basically up until here, you're gonna have really great performance. Like people think that November is like the best month. Well, you really only get this short window of like 4 days. That's really good. But other than that, December is usually and historically better. For a lot of the brands that I work with in my mentorship group, and for me personally, right, I've hit 300K months back to back years in December. You know what I mean? So yeah, December is really big for us. Yeah, and basically you run your Christmas sale all the way up until the 16th because of the shipping cutoff, and then after the 16th, you're gonna see a dive in performance as people are gonna realize that Christmas gifts are not gonna arrive in time, and then on actual Christmas Day, you see a big spike in performance. Like I did like 25K last year, just on Christmas Day, and you can run a Christmas Day sale because everyone's getting their Christmas money, they're getting their gifts. They have a lot more money to purchase. So if they've seen your brand throughout this Black Friday period or even through here, you can help reactivate them. So just sending out an email or SMS on Christmas Day would be good. And then you have your New Year's. You can either run a New Year's sale or you can run a New Year's product drop, right? And essentially, throughout this period, it's just a bunch of marketing activations, whether it be product drops or sales. And yeah, that's all it is really. The more marketing activations that you can fit in here, the more money that you're gonna make, and that's pretty much it. Now to dive into the actual ad strategy for my Q4, this is what I do. Or specifically the Black Friday ad strategy. I run lead gen ads. So on Facebook, I run lead gen ads, and then with lead gen ads, you have the option to do instant forms or website forms. I've split test both. With instant forms, you're gonna get higher volume of leads, right? But with the website forms, where they actually go to your website and fill it out, you're gonna get higher quality leads. So you can play Either or. I like personally the website forms, but the instant forms are easier to set up. And you're gonna have more volume with that. You can also run this on TikTok. I've done that as well. And I can just show you guys, like in this lead gen campaign on Facebook, I spent $11,000, close to 12K on here, and then I spent another like 12K on TikTok. And then as you can see, this was the cost per lead sitting at about like 1.17. And yeah, you just pretty much kill the ads that have a higher, cost per lead or whatever. You know what I mean? And these are essentially just creatives that have worked throughout the year, and we just reuse them, and then also launch some new ad creatives as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it when we're launching lead gen ads. I like to launch lead gen ads, you know, really it doesn't really matter when you launch them, but the more farther out that you launch them, the better data and the better hype you're gonna build up for this period. So for me specifically this year, I'll tell you that I have a drop on this day, so I'm not even running lead gen ads up until next week. You know what I mean? But I'm still gonna run lead gen ads. And then once you have the lead gen ads, then you're gonna launch your early access sale, right? This is the strategy that Sam taught me and my other mentor Nick. And essentially, once you launch your Black Friday early access sale, you're gonna close off your website. You're gonna send out a password, and then you can also run retargeting campaign to everyone who signed up on your lead gen ads, and send them the password on the actual ad creative, using exclusions and things like that. And then when it actually comes to the public Black Friday sale, then you're going to unlock your site, and then you're going to launch your sale and then your ads. And then for your ads, pretty much what I found to work is that your evergreen campaigns that you're already running is going to work best, right? So you just usually want to spike your budget. So whatever you're spending right now, so let's say you're spending like $1,000 a day right now, you're gonna 4 to 10x that daily budget, right? So let's say it's Black Friday. Okay, I'm spending $1,000 a day leading up. Now I'm gonna come in Black Friday, let's say spending $5,000 a day, and then basically what you're gonna do is surf scale, which is essentially is you're gonna check in every 2 to 4 hours on your campaign, and based off the metrics of your overall business, looking at MER, or if you have another KPI that you're looking at, whether that be in platform ROAS or triple whale ROAS, you can scale off that. And then yeah, basically you're surfing the wave, right? So if performance is good, scale up again. If performance is bad, scale down. This is really the only time of year that you want to surf scale, just because your budget is so high and it's like so much pent up demand. So you really want to capitalize on that. And yeah, when it comes to actual Facebook ads this year, with the new Meta Andromeda update, they're focusing more on diversification and really like net new ad concepts. So before in the past, right, when it comes to like creative testing, people will like change small tweaks. So like this is an example of that, right? So in the past, you could get away with things like this, right? Essentially, like it's the same concept, visual concept, but Facebook treats this as one entity ID, they call it, right? So when you actually want big swings in performance for your ad account, you want to test more drastic big swings, more things that are visually different, right? So that it gives the machine something and more things to optimize and serve ads to, right? So an example would be if we're serving, let's say we want to promote this product, right? Then I'm going to give it visually different concepts or visually different images. That way the machine has more to work off of, right? As you can see. So like this is visually more different. It's the same concept still, but it's visually more different than something like this, right? So that's what we're doing this year. And then when it comes to actual Black Friday sales ads, they're going to be sitting in the bottom of funnel. So like these are people who already know about your brand. Because usually when people are buying something for Black Friday, they already know what they're going to buy. They're just waiting on the discount. You know what I'm saying? So like even if you think about it for yourself, right, you probably want to buy some stuff for Black Friday. And you already know like what and where you want to buy it from. You know what I'm saying? So we're really not going to get any prospecting ads from here. But what you can do is launch some banners on top of your best performing ad creative. So let's say this was my best performing ad creative for the year. I'll just put like a banner at the top saying Black Friday sale, early access now, up to 60% off, for example, and then just launch that in that account. But also some ads like this as well works. Just some simple Black Friday sales ads, as you can see. And then once you launch your ads, it's also important that you send out email and SMS blasts leading up and throughout the sales period. So you want to reactivate all your customers. CPMs are going to be up a lot. There's going to be a lot of emails and SMS in people's inboxes and messages. So don't get lost in the crowd. Like, you want to send more than usual. And essentially, your main goal is just to let everyone know that you have the sale going on, right? This is the biggest marketing moment of the year. So there's a lot of competition, right? So you really want to cut through the noise and, yeah, just do whatever in your power to promote your brand, essentially. You know what I'm saying? Just like if you were trying to promote anything else. Like, let's say you're trying to promote a party, you're going to promote in a lot of ways, whether that be organic, paid, influencers, things of that nature, right? Now, the third important thing for success for this Q4 is just having a good offer, right? So the biggest thing when it comes to offers for Q4 is just to have a clear and concise offer, something that people can easily understand and articulate. Right, so historically I've run, up to 50% off, up to 60% off, something that's very clear, essentially just slashing prices. You can test buy one, get one freeze. You can test bundles, 2 for 100, etc. For most brands, I'll just, do the up to 60% off or up to 50% off or up to a specific percentage, as it's, usually the most clear discount. And yeah, that's what people want. You can test out some bundles though to boost up AOV and things like that. Now, what people like to overlook is the actual backend. So when you're running all of this in the background, right? And essentially when you're amplifying your business, because for most brands, like Q4 is like a big portion of the yearly revenue, right? So you really want to make sure that nothing breaks. And the main thing when it comes to that is inventory. So really, if you haven't already, you were supposed to plan out your inventory really, back in July, August, September, so you have your inventory on hand. But if you're running pre-orders, you can get away with that. But you still got to clearly articulate that to your customer. I've run pre-orders before in Q4 specifically, but you just have to make sure that you articulate that to your customers so you're not getting any payments held. Yeah. And the biggest thing is just the communication, the transparency, especially because a lot of people are buying these for Christmas gifts and things like that. So there's inherent deadlines, right? So next we got the daily spending limit. So on Facebook itself, you actually have daily spending limits, you know what I mean, on your campaigns. So you need to check at your account level your daily spending limit, and essentially you need to ask for a bump, right? So let's say your daily spending limit is $500 a day, right? And you're spending $250 a day leading up to Black Friday, and you want to scale your budget to $1,000 a day. You can't do that because your spending limit is not that high. So right now, it's best to ask your account rep or ask the support. You can open up a support ticket and ask to increase your spending limit, and they should get that sorted for you. You want to make sure that you have your ads ready. So when it's actual like Black Friday day itself, it's going to be hard. There's a lot of glitches. There's a lot of bugs on the ad platform itself because a lot of people are launching a whole bunch of things at one time, so there can be potential issues when it comes to launching, processing, or even reviewing your ads. So it's important that you have your ads already ready, week out, and that they're already scheduled and everything. I had this twice, but customer service, customer service, pretty self-explanatory. You need to make sure that you have the adequate amount of customer service help there, because you're obviously going to have more tickets, more order volume, things of that nature. This should be credit cards. This goes hand in hand with the daily spending limit. Make sure that you have enough credit card limit for your credit cards. Make sure that your payment methods are good, because if your payment does not go through with ads, they will shut down your ads, and it will suck because you will miss out on the biggest moment of the year. And yeah, at the end of the day, all it comes down to is preparation. Q4 success is heavily dependent on your preparation leading up to it. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's pretty much that simple. The biggest things is just, having those marketing activations planned out, making sure that you have, those sales and drops periodically throughout this period, making sure that you're distributing distributing those marketing activation sales, making sure that you're letting everyone know about the products that you're dropping, the sales that you're dropping, cutting through the noise, and then make sure that you have a good offer, and then making sure nothing breaks. It's really simple. Fashion is simple, really not that complex, but yeah, this is pretty much the system to take it. My name is Jar. If you want some one-on-one help to help scale up and maximize this Q4, you can apply in the link in the description down below for mentorship. Until then, I'll see y'all in the next video.